Welcome to the Legion Outriders podcast, your source for the latest Legion news, opinion, and analysis. And now, the Outriders.
Hello, Outriders! Matt, Dan, and John joining you here today. How's it going, gentlemen?
Oh, I'm just wonderful.
That's John.
I mean, that's me. Yes.
Hi, John.
Sorry.
Okay. And by process of elimination, of course, that chuckle is Dan.
I'm always eliminated, so yeah.
Not as much as I was last weekend, but still.
Well, we'll get into that.
Super eliminated. But, man, it's been a minute since all three of us have been together, so very excited to get this episode in the can. What are we up, 222? 121?
Did I update that?
122. I think it's 122 now.
Yeah, 122.
That's totally something we're paying attention to. But there was a little event down in Southern California called the SoCal Open that both John and I attended. We're going to briefly go over that because it turns out there's been some other news, some disturbances in the force.
I don't think it was that big.
Not a big deal?
No,
okay.
Not a big deal.
Well, we'll still talk about it anyways because we got like an hour to fill. So
I was going to say, we had like a lot of news to talk about it last week.
Yeah.
So I'm stoked to be here.
Yeah, like
good. Well, good.
Yeah, news like Matt, you went to Disneyland in the rain.
I did. Yeah. I feel like that's a song waiting to be written. Disneyland in the rain, something like MacArthur Park or.
I like bomb cyclone at Disney. That sounds a little better because that's what it was, a bomb cyclone. It's like all in the news. Like that's a little hyperbolic, isn't it?
Is that what they were calling
it?
A
bomb cyclone. Yeah.
That sounds like the next set from DJ Rex on the ones and twos inside Olga's Cantina there.
This cyclone is the bomb.
But the weather at SoCal Open didn't really matter because, well, you guys were inside.
Yeah, I was inside. But do we want to hit up our Star Wars news?
The Star Wars news.
Let us do the things that we do.
Right. So, so in Hollywood news, Carl Weathers, he put a little tweet out that he's currently filming scenes for Mando Season 3.
Nice.
So that means Mando Season 3. That's our first official confirmation that they're in production for that right now.
And that's not Book of Boba. That's
because Book of Boba's coming out in December, and that's already in the can. Obi-Wan has been confirmed already in the can. Andor is unofficially confirmed to be in the can. So they're just cranking these out.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, next year, we're just going to get slammed with a ton.
I actually saw that tweet, and I was very excited. I mean, I was originally following him for stew recipes and tips, but getting Star Wars news is great, too. What else we got?
And we don't usually report on rumors that actors will be in different series and whatnot, because most of them are, from like the moviepoopshoot.com style websites out there. You can't really
internet.
Yeah. There's your Jay and Silent Bob reference, everyone. But yes, the bigger ones, like the Hollywood Reporter actually reported that Hayden will be in the Ahsoka series. So,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
Of course.
So we'll get some Snips and Sky Guy interactions together.
I don't know if he's got a whole lot else going on right now, but that's good. I'm happy.
Oh yeah, because he's also going to be in the Obi-Wan series as well. So it's good to see him working again.
Yeah, that's cool.
On to other media, the Visions novel, The Ronin, released.
Did you watch the Visions, John?
I watched the first episode and a half.
Which was...
It's not for me.
Okay.
But you liked the first one.
The first episode was awesome. Yeah, I
really
enjoyed
so
that.
that's the one we're talking about.
Yeah, okay. So they released a book to expand on that first episode.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd be interested in that.
I did listen to it. Thank you, Audible.
Okay.
Not sponsored.
Yeah.
It was a bit rough for me, and I could see it was a good story. But as I'm the hard canon guy, like everything has to fit in the story. They kept using, Star Wars terms in a completely different way, and it kept throwing me off.
Oh,
so
I see.
Like it's totally based on feudal Japan. So the Empire, they keep dropping that, but the Empire is all the Jedi, and the Sith are rebelling against the Empire. And I'm like, it kept like not computing in my brain. So
I can see where that'd be a little confusing.
yeah, so I was totally that battle droid in episode 1 going, that doesn't compute.
You're under arrest.
You're under arrest. But otherwise it was a very good story. I think you have to remove yourself out of Star Wars and then take it from a non-Star Wars perspective.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
But otherwise you enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it, yes.
Good. All right.
And on the merchandise front, merchandising, where the real money is made.
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro did their PulseCon, which is their little
Oh, crap. Did I miss my Trapper Wolf?
Did you? I'll have to double check on that.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I have
Yeah.
no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know.
Trapper Wolf.
Yeah. My Dave Filoni action figure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Well, related to action figures of people you buy not because they're the characters, but because they're the actors. Cobb
Yes.
Vanth was announced to be coming out, so you get your Timothy Oliphant.
Hey, the
action
Marshal.
figure. Yeah.
Excellent. Yes. The
That'll be
man
coming
with
spring
the
of
slenderest
22.
hips in the West.
And the face sculpt on that is like it's on point.
Is that the Deadwood guy? Yeah. You're right.
But they also announced that the HasLab Rancor, which we previously talked about last episode, it was fully announced, $350, and I was incorrect last. It wasn't 3 3/4 scale. It is 6-inch scale.
Okay.
So it's a big boy.
Yeah.
They said it was 17.5 inches tall.
Yeah. All right.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does it come with Legion rolls?
Ooh. That'd be really big for Legion.
Yeah, that would be.
Like an
I mean,
AT-AT size Rancor.
Yeah, I was about to say it's scaled for the 6-inch Black Series, so
Oh,
it's going to
thing
be a bit big for.
Thinking about the Rancors, they just keep growing. You keep feeding them.
So yeah, I mean, of course, being PulseCon, they announced a few of their other things that they do. They announced the Sky Striker for GI Joe, and they're going to do a proton pack for Ghostbusters, which looks really awesome, but it's going to be $400. So it's like,
Does it shoot actual protons?
Can you cross streams with it? That's
Oh,
most
yeah.
important.
You're not supposed to, I think.
so yeah, that's
Okay.
I mean, that's it for the Star Wars news.
Hey.
Yeah, so we had a couple events. Well, an event.
Yes?
Yeah, the SoCal Open, but of course, in 90 days we're going to have the LVO.
90 days.
Yeah, we are sub 100 days.
Oh my
on
goodness.
that.
Okay, I
So-
really got to get moving on that table I promised LJ.
Let's see if we can get Yoda in the next 90 days.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, about that.
good
No,
luck
I
with
mean,
that,
hey,
buddy.
it's supposed to come out at December 31st, and this is January, so you got a month with Yoda.
Okay. I can do that.
Well, I mean, what they say, who knows? They'll probably delay it again.
They say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before then, we're actually going to have, in 41 days, the New Orleans Open.
I like how you abbreviated to
No.
Well, that's fun.
So, yeah, I mean-
the Open Series are a lot of fun. I've really been enjoying these, and I'm looking forward to staffing at LVO, but I'll definitely be hitting up SoCal, and I'm sure you will. You had fun, right?
Oh, yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah. But hey, well, let's actually talk about that, because we both went down for the Saturday heat, and I think we had, 45 people show
it?
up?
Oh, okay. I was going to say, they had
Yeah.
over 50 sign-ups.
Yeah, we had more sign up. Obviously, you always lose people day of,
Yeah.
but it was pretty good. We started the day. I think round started at 9:15. It was a very well run event. Lance was heading things up. There was judges everywhere. Nice spaced out tables. Generally very good terrain. So big thumbs up from the Outrider crew for that. So thank you guys, everybody that put that on. I know LJ was casting out there.
Yep, LJ and Endless, and
Yep.
as the person watching from home, they put on a great stream.
Yeah.
I was in the stream most of the streams.
Oh,
most
good.
of the time,
It
so-
was great. They had two table setups, so they can kind of flip back and forth when things got, finished up or stale, or they're going. We're going to the judges for rules, kind of thing. So that was really cool. I went. I played 3 games. We were both of us planning to play our 3 games on Saturday, I think, and then go do other stuff on Sunday.
Yeah.
So I had some friends I hadn't seen in years. I grew up in SoCal, so I was very anxious. I had very few illusions that I would be able to go to top 8 for day 2. So I just kind of planned on not. And it turned out I was bang on correct. John, however, you got a little bit closer there.
Well, I mean, so I kind of did the same thing. My girlfriend's from San Diego originally, so we went and spent a lot of time with her friends and family and stuff down there. So Sunday was kind of like, all right, I'm not going to go 3-0. Sunday I've got other things to do, so I was happy to have the full day on Saturday. So I started 2-0.
I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I'm like, oh no, being a little too successful right now.
So I'm like, all right, I already made a commitment to my girlfriend that we're doing stuff on Sunday other than me playing Legion, but also like the competitive side of me is like, I really don't want to just like give up if I have a chance to go 3-0. Then of course I drew Lupo.
Yeah.
And-
Well, let's go in
Oh, yeah,
order here.
yeah,
Let's okay. So round 1, who did you play?
I played a guy named Kenny, and he was a local from San Diego. Great guy. He was running a Rex Star list. which I have never played a Rexstar list. This is one thing that's like
It's something we've talked about a lot, but nobody ever plays it out here.
Nobody
in
in
our
our local meta,
Yeah.
even during the height of Rexstar, nobody played a Rexstar list. I mean, the closest thing I know, Jeff dabbled.
There is one of the newer people in our group who I played versus him. One of the Cantina events that we do.
Oh, okay.
His name is Kobe. Kobe, if you're listening,
Oh yeah.
shout out. I have played my Iden 3/4 Shore versus his Rexstar.
Okay,
So
I guess
there is, but it's
You
none
haven't
of the
encountered it
regulars
yet.
I have played. So, it was like, okay, well, I'm finally getting a Rexstar list, but it's in this venue, and of course, I was running a tricked out Op Luke, with all the goodies, and then 3 full units of Wookiee warriors with bowcasters and tenacity and all that stuff.
I'm shocked.
And then 4 or 5 naked rebel trooper squads, basically, just to bring it to 10 activations, and then a rebel officer with what do you call it, vigilance. So really, I wasn't bringing anything to like counter the truck meta for the most part. Double air speeders, I didn't really have a whole lot of answers for that. I was just like, I just want to chop some stuff up in melee. Also ran 800 points exactly, so I was red player.
Woo, 800 points.
Yeah, so that first match I was going against Rexstar, and it ended up flipping to hostage, which is not what you want to play against with a gunline Rex list. Because he pops the Scout 2 move with his unit, and he's already got him with their back line turn 1. And I'm just like, okay, so I have to just come get you. And it was a no man's land in the middle. I was kind of in a bad situation. Luckily for me, Kenny, great guy, he wanted to engage a little bit. He wanted to bring Rex out there just close enough so he could start popping shots off at range 2, which left him open for Op Luke to hop in. In hindsight, he's like, yeah, I really shouldn't have done that. He's like, but I wanted to go big or go home, right? And I'm like, dude, I know. I feel that. And like, that's how I play too.
Yeah.
Like, maybe a gunline list isn't your best bet then. But he was, great opponent. Had a lot of fun with him.
Nice.
So I came away with a win on that one. How about you? How was your first round?
I did not have a win on the first round, but I pulled some rando California guy. I'm thinking there's a made-up name. Keegan?
Oh,
Keegan?
I've heard that name before.
Yeah, Evans. I'm not really sure.
Have I heard? I don't know if I've heard. Keegan, we love you.
Not a name I've heard in a very long time.
Another one of those clone bandwagon jumper kind of people, but
Oh wow.
no. He is obviously, if you've been listening to the show for a while, he's a very good friend of the show and an awesome dude. I was very to get to play him again because it'd been a while. So I was running my double T-47 list that I have been with a lot of the Hoth emphasis on the veteran troops and a few rebel troops with some upgrades in Gideon and all that. Mostly it's about the T-47, so that's out there doing the work, and then some ATRTs with rotary blasters to kind of muck things up. I had not practiced. I have not been practicing. I've been slacking in my duties.
Full disclosure, neither of us have.
Yeah, exactly. But you're naturally got the competitive edge there. So I am not. I have to work at it. I got to hone my skills. So we got put out. We did supplies. And I think my plan, I made some poor execution choices, but the plan was solid. I had tucked away 2 boxes where I can have my Mark II blasters hold them, and they're going to be able to hold them. And the way things were deployed, they were going to be able to stay away the entire game. The middle box was the crux one, as it usually is. I threw out my ATRTs to try and chaff him up. He didn't care. He just blasted them off the table. It was like, why did I even do that? And he was like, you probably should have held them back. I was like, you were absolutely right. That did not work the way I thought it would. And there was a pivotal turn where I had the middle box, and instead of playing ambush, I played interrupt transmission. And I don't get to put out any tokens for that one because I don't have any operatives or elite or anything like that. And I was like, oh, that was a big goof. Well, luckily, my bag is 70% full of troop choices here, so I can get my box and move before Anakin comes and chomps me, because he had Anakin Padme. He's working on that exemplar meta now, and it's preview. It's looking pretty good. And I goofed. I pulled a heavy support, and it was just like, okay, Anakin munched, and I was never able to get the crate back before I lost like most of my forces. So it was just kind of game over. I could have won that game if things had gone my way, but it was really cool to see that exemplar thing, like having Anakin pop a standby from range 2 from Padme. That caught me out. I hadn't seen that before. I probably should have read about it at some point, but it was really, really cool to see Keegan piloting that list very well. Obviously, he did fantastic for the weekend, ending up 4th overall. I think we're going to try to get him on next episode so we can hear a little bit about his experiences. But that was a fun game. First loss out of the way, no problem, pressure's off. We went into round 2, and I played a guy named Joe. And let's see, Joe was playing, I'm trying to remember now. We had a really weird table, like a really, really weird table.
Was that ATST construction?
Yeah, it was ATST. So it was a lot of
construction
really high stuff on there, and it was...
And not a lot of scatter. I remember
not a lot of
from that,
scatter. And we did like a longest march on it too, and there wasn't like any stuff. Yeah. And he was playing clones, all the clones. And I think it would have worked. So the first game I could have won. The second game I should have won.
Uh-oh.
It was one of those. It was like...
Coulda, shoulda.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm bad about monitoring the clock, and we did not finish the game. Unfortunately, if it had come down to it and we had actually been able to play 6 turns, I easily should have won it. But as it turned out, it ended at the end of round 5. We both had a tie amount of units in the scoring zone. He had the most he could at that point. I had 2 more just out, and it came down to the tie points. And he had killed an extra. He capped off one of my rebel sergeants that was just hanging out there to give him the edge. And I was like, fair play. It was too bad we couldn't have finished the game, but it was still a lot of fun making the best out of just kind of a really odd map. But I think that was. Yeah, it was a good learning experience game, just seeing him try to turtle up and prevent my guys from getting past for the breakthrough and all that. But absolutely would play again. John, how was your round 2?
Round 2. So round 2 is one of those games that I will always remember. Like you have like certain games where just like I will never forget the results of this game. So
oh boy,
playing against this guy named Samuel, great dude. He was running a separatist list with a AAT and just a ton of kitted out B1 squads, a T series, so very and a bunch of sniper droids. So very very droid heavy, a lot of bodies.
Yeah.
The AAT, I've played an AAT, but I've never been on the receiving end of an AAT.
Oh, okay.
Whew.
Yeah,
They put out spicy, huh? They put out some hurt. So we were playing Recover the Supplies, and my whole thing is okay. We're like major offensive, so we're almost long march, like opposite ends of the board. It basically became okay, who can grab the middle piece, right? And I got a lot of wounds to soak through. We got 3 squads of Wookiees, right? So essentially what it came down to was me running my Wookiees in there to grab the box, run back to my own side, like my own lines, hide behind line of sight, and hope that he can't shoot me off the board. So that's what I did, and he, systematically went through and took out most of my forces. I kind of threw Luke in there as a distraction piece to try to prevent him from getting across the board. I mean, he eventually got shot off the board, but came down to turn 6. I've got 3 objectives. He's got 2. I've got like 3 squads left. I think it was down to 6 models total. I had only killed 6 models of his throughout the entire. So basically, my dead pile was like to the max, and he had like 6 guys dead. So
wow,
he came down to his last activation was his AAT tank, and he had 1 squad that he could see. And I had 3 models left. He dumps a whole bunch of firepower. I had heavy cover. I had a dodge token. So he maxed out the number of wounds. So he gets 5, okay?
Yeah.
Out of 8, he has 5 hits. I got to make at least 3 saves on white dice. I don't know what the odds are. I mean, my math skills aren't great, but it's less than 10%.
It's not good, yeah.
And I'm like, well, here he goes. Threw it down, 3 saves.
And not surging saves, right? They're straight.
No. Rebel troopers have.
Troopers,
yeah,
Wookiees.
Yeah,
okay.
No. So the Wookiees have been shot off the board at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, it was one of those moments where you probably heard me.
No, I was going to say that I think a lot of heads turn to hear the 7-foot-tall Wookiee whooping in the corner. I was like, wow, that was either really good or really bad. So either way, it looks like he's having fun.
Oh, it was a great game. It was a lot of fun. I mean, Samuel's a great opponent, and he handled that really well because that's a bad beat,
dude. Yeah,
like
I get you.
When you got like a 99% chance of winning at the last action, and then all of a sudden it goes against you. Like I snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. I should have lost that game, and he was a great sport about it. So
that's good.
Yeah, that was my second round game. But it was one of those games where it was like I had put so much into that, like emotionally and mentally, that like I was done. I was drained. I was like, well, I guess let's see who my next opponent is. Oh, Lupo.
It's Lupo. Yeah, straight to round 3.
Yeah.
So.
So remember, kids, this is a game of objectives, not of kills.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So looking at the battlefield, you're like, oh, well, the droids won that, right? And it's like, well, no, not quite. Got that last supply. But that third game against Lupo, I think it was probably the fastest game of Legion in recorded history. I believe. I essentially. So
flipped the table, walked away. Yeah.
I mean, Lupo's a great dude. I mean, he's one of those people who expects probably to make top table or top 8 every single time.
Yeah.
I played him once before, and I mean, this is back in the early days when he was running the triple sabs, when no one was running sabs. The guy is like one step ahead of the meta, one step ahead of everybody. And like with me already being just like not with it at all, I was like, well, this is gonna
not wanting to come back
and
for
also,
day 2.
True, yeah. So somehow I ended up being red or blue player in this because he also had an 800-point list.
What?
So we used my battle deck. I didn't put any thought into what cards I was putting in my battle deck because I had no expectation of actually using it.
Just kind of shuffled them and went.
So I had Bombing Run in there. And I had never played Bombing Run. So I just thought like, oh, this looks like a list I'd be okay with Bombing Run.
And you never have, apparently.
And I never have.
Yeah.
So Lupo's running an R2-D2, an AA5, and an airspeeder. Okay? 3 things that do very, very well in Bombing Run. We started also with rapid reinforcements, because I like rapid reinforcements. I got Wookiee warriors, right? Like, drop them in there, deep strike, and unleash hell. Now, not when you need to start them on the board to carry the bomb. Didn't realize that ahead of time, so put my Wookiees in deep strike, where I'm like, oh no, they're the ones that probably should be carrying the bomb right now. So I did everything stupid. Like, as much as I pride myself on doing well in turn 0, I did everything wrong in turn 0. Looked at the board when we set up. He makes like his first move, gets the air speeder, drops the bomb. Okay, there's 1 victory point. And then I look at like, oh, so the tank or the A5, all you gotta do is drive that across the board, and then you get another victory point. And you just leave R2-D2 in there the whole time. And then you get your victory point for the secret mission. And it was like the opposite side of the board from all my stuff. I'm like, I can't win this. There's no way. I extended my hand. I'm like, good game, bro. He's like, wait, what? I'm like, no, you won, man. I mean, like, there's no way I can win this. Even if my dice go perfectly this game, nah. Like, I don't want to, like, there's no point in beleaguering this.
Last game of the day. Yeah.
Like, good job, bro. I'm going to go grab a beer before the bar closes.
Yeah.
So.
And it was brought up on stream, you walking by with beer.
Yes. I mean, it shouldn't be a shock to anybody.
Yeah, right? It's like, we're 15 minutes in the round, and Archicad's getting lit, so. So my turn 3 my third game was a lot of fun. Met a guy named Gerardo that was down from Boise, actually, but it was from I think Northern California. I don't know. But anyways, he was playing Empire. 8 activation Empire. He had a big Papa Vader. He had a Gav tank. He had 4 Stormtroopers with HH-12s.
Combo breaker.
And some other things smattered in there. And I was like, wow, this could be really bad for my T-47s.
Yeah.
But it ended up just being a super chill game. We were playing Priority and just kind of running around. And unfortunately, the black dice were not with him. He did get some rocket shots off of my T-47s were just, do a barrel roll and just staying alive and just kind of taking them off the board bit by bit. So, but we got to hang out. John supplied us with beer, so thank you for that. And
you're welcome.
we enjoyed the last game of the day, but at least I got to ended up with 1 and 2 for that one. But some lessons learned there. But looking forward to next year's tournament season when it kicks off again for sure.
So, quick overview of what we saw list wise.
Yeah. So many rebels.
So it was like 40% rebels, something
Yeah,
like that.
there,
So a lot of rebels.
there was a lot of rebels. Yeah,
But there was a decent amount of list diversity. We did see a lot of AA5s, which is to be expected.
I don't think
Actually,
we saw that many.
no.
Actually, I think
the most brought heavy was the T-47.
T-47.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
There was
Yeah.
a lot of those out there. But yeah, not as many AA5s as I was expecting. There, I mean, there's probably like half a dozen of them.
My theory on that is the anti-bus kind of overcompensated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, everyone's going to bring buses. Let me bring anti-bus.
yeah.
But the T-47 is just a very good unit right now in general, just because the amount of firepower it brings is pretty much good against anything.
Yeah, except red saves.
Yeah, true. So
There's not much we could do unless we get Pierce cannons on there somehow.
No, God, don't even put that in the world. Quick shout out to Keegan. We gave him a little props earlier, but like his list when we did that, every tournament you go to, you walk around, you talk to your friends you haven't seen in a while, and then naturally it's what'd you bring?
Yeah,
And Padme, Anakin, triple bark, and I'm just like, I like it. Yeah. I don't know what that's good for, but I like it. Like bold move, Cotton.
Yeah.
And he made top 4. He did great, and Keegan's a really good player, and we've both played against him a number of times. Great dude.
Yeah.
But it's a cool list. It really is, and it's an innovative. With that exemplar, like you said, he's kind of getting one step ahead of the meta.
But yeah, go check out Legion 99 podcast. I think they talked about it on the last episode.
They've already released their RRG update episode. They did an emergency
don't listen
episode.
to that.
So.
No, but it was a really cool event. The top 4 I think was 1 Separatist, 1 Republic, and 2 Rebels. Kyle took it. He basically ran a hybrid of our 2 lists. So
Rock.
You're welcome, Kyle.
Dornbos.
Dornbos,
I was saying, never mind. I was thinking Rock for the double ATST.
Oh no. He was running the Kyle Dornbos was running the double T-47 triple Wookiee list.
Yeah, I know it is kind of like some weird unholy mating,
and piloted way better than either or the two of us are capable of.
Yes, absolutely.
That's the big difference.
Even with me standing on your shoulders in a trench coat, I don't think we could figure out the math on that one.
Nor would we fit in most doorways.
No.
2 Outriders in a trench coat.
Yeah. New OnlyFans.
Yes.
Anyways, we're going to take a short break, guys. We're going to be back to talk about all those tasty point changes.
Yes.
Hey guys, Matt here to tell you about our friends over at 6 Up Supply. If you're like me and don't have access to your own 3D printers, 6 Up Supply has you covered with a whole suite of printing services to bring those awesome files to life. The Outriders are proud to be partnered with 6 Up, and you could find special themed terrain, gear, and tokens with a big discount for Patreon members in the Outrider Central section of the website. And that's not all. You can also get terrain bases, game supplies, tools, LED kits, and more. Stuff is being added all the time. So stop by the number 6upsupply.com and use coupon code OUTRIDER to save 10% on your next order, and let them help you up your game.
You are receiving the Legion Outriders podcast. Ending the transmission now would be most unfortunate. And now, the Outriders.
Welcome back, and the thing has finally occurred. It's here. I was joking with LJ at the Open that, hey, I heard that the point update just came out. Are we going to be able to use it for the event? And he looked very sad.
But this was literally days after.
Yeah,
SoCal.
I think they were doing him a solid not releasing it right before, or at least the organizers for the Open. But yeah, we got a lot to talk about, some big changes in there. Dan, we talked a lot in the last segment, so let me have you kick this one off for us.
Oh, yeah. So, there is a lot that's happened. Some of it we've already heard of, but a lot we haven't.
Okay.
So that's good. I mean, just as for general things, before we get into the faction breakdown, we had already heard about the 4-card flip and the red player picks a table side.
So this is in effect now.
This is in effect November 8th.
November 8th is the official go live date on this.
Go live date.
I'm excited to start playing. Well, I'm going to start playing like this regardless. So. I mean, in the next week until it's actually official.
We didn't mention it in the SoCal talk. They did not use this. They specifically used the previous RRG. So it was 3-card flip and blue player pick side.
Yep.
But yeah, this should definitely, I mean, we've said it before, when they've announced this, gives red player a hell of a lot more agency.
Yeah.
I mean, one player can't force any particular situation.
So hopefully we'll be seeing a lot more people like using all their points instead of going for that, I've got a 45-point bid.
But we know actually at LV or at SoCal, there weren't a lot of people with really big bids. I mean, Kyle won it as red player, and he ran an 800-point list. Lupo ran an 800-point list.
I guess they're just getting ready for the reality of the thing, which is, hey, we've got these points, we've got these armies, let's use it all. I'm trying to think of, we were pretty close. I was 800, you were 800. I think I might have seen a 799 in one of my opponents. So
there's a lot of people who are trying to just run take all comers lists now. Or, things that could play any objective.
Right.
So and the T-47 and Wookiees do that well.
I think that's a healthier way to engage in the game and all that. So, well, that's cool. Yay.
Yeah. So all 4 factions got big changes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Any particular one we want to start with, or do you just want to go with
Let's
the one
go with the top of the page.
Top of the page. Okay. So Republic players, tell us on the RRG where the RRG hurt you.
Right in the points.
Well, I mean, I think we all knew this was going to happen.
Yeah,
but,
yeah. And so let's start off.
R2, the whipping boy of the Republic.
Another 10 points up, so he's 55 now.
R2 needed that. I don't know that Republic R2 needed that.
Yeah, I mean, they're separate cards, so they could adjust the 2 factions independently. I'm surprised they haven't, actually. Because there's a lot of cross-factional stuff that was all changed equally across the board, but they don't have to, so I'm surprised they don't. But yeah, I remember, oh God, when I think it came up in our group chat, that he was up 10 points, and my immediate hot take was not enough.
I think it's enough. It's the only way that you can get the extra victory points from Republic or Rebels. We don't have bounty hunters yet.
Oh, you got Padme for
Republic. That's true. Secret mission, yeah. But R2 is a otherwise uninteractive piece.
Yeah, very uninteractive because I as the opponent would have to dedicate more than 55 points to deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't really do a whole lot else besides just score the secret mission.
Besides
repair
win
buses.
you the game,
repair buses. And repair buses, depending.
And himself.
Oh, yeah.
But, I mean, it's not a piece that... 55 points, I feel like, is an appropriate amount. I would say even up to 65 would be okay. Anything more than that would be, I think, too much.
I think 55 is probably a good place to hang out and check that out for a while, see how it does. But we got a lot more to cover on than that. What else we got?
100-point R2 changed my mind. Anyway, moving on.
100-point R2.
Clone troopers can only share 1 token per attack defend. Now, this is one that was released before. I mean...
This is a change I actually said like verbatim. They should just limit it to 1 token.
Yeah.
I think it's a good change.
Yeah, I think it's still really because it's 1 per 1 attack or defend. You can still pull a token in there, which can still make a big difference. You can have that Sergeant Steve out there generating his tokens and sharing them out with his brothers. So
yeah, but it's not like I'm going to dump a fire supported Z6 and then convert all my dice because I have 13 names.
I got 6 rerolls here. Here we go. So buckle up. This is going to be a while. Yeah.
Rex plus 10 points as well. I mean, which made sense. He was too powerful for his points.
So at first, when I heard the Rex plus 10 points, I was like, that's not enough. He needs to be more than that. But of course, we didn't know about the change to take that clankers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So take that clankers now requires an aim action, not just an aim token. So you can't use offensive push shenanigans or other ways to get that token over there. So.
Yeah, because then you were basically seeing an entire army of, phase 2's shooting range 5, Z6s, and with all the aims and stuff like that. I mean, that just, I don't know. It feels bad.
Yeah. I think that's probably a decent adjustment for him, not having played Rex, but just against him a few times. But it'll be interesting to see what happens. We're getting some more options for viable commanders though out of the Republic. So
yeah, so I mean, it'll help kind of break the it's not a clone trooper, so I'm not going to take it idea out of Republic. So, but to rapid fire the rest here, clone commander up 5, Fives up 4,
wow,
Echo up 2, which didn't make sense because Echo really wasn't that popular anyway, at least not to my knowledge.
Yeah.
And the ARC Trooper DC 15, which is the sniper, loses critical 1.
That one hurts.
Ow.
Yeah, that hurts the arcs.
True. Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
So it makes it harder for them to punch through higher save.
All right.
Yeah.
I think they're all good changes. I think the most important thing is, you're right, it basically makes it so you can make lists of Republic that aren't just clone troopers and aren't just Rex, because one of the best things about Rebels was the internal balance of the faction, and I don't think Republic had that. They had auto takes and they had units you just wouldn't touch if you were trying to build a competitive list. And I think this alleviates that. Yeah, maybe they swung the nerf bat a little too hard in a couple areas, but we'll see.
Yeah, with all the new stuff they're getting as well, could factor into that. But Anakin is down 5 points.
On the bright side, bright side of Republic, Anakin.
No, he's the dark side.
He's the.
And you underestimate my power. Adds defend, which receives an order gains X dodge tokens.
Yep. That's cool. I like that. I like that change.
It's not going to help him on his flaw turn, but I mean, having exemplar or just generating more tokens is a good thing.
But the more good news. The Phase 1 troopers are getting a point reduction for the DC-15 and DP-23 Pierce gun at -1 points. Phase 1 captain -2, specialist -3. I think we're going to see that across most of the factions.
Yeah, so that's pretty common. Though a lot of the personnel and some of the heavies were getting reductions to help with that. Bark -5. But to compensate, the ion gun and the laser are +2 and +3. So this really incentivizes naked barks.
They're very fast.
Yeah.
I don't know that they needed to put the points hike on the weapons. I think barks, you're not seeing barks.
Well, the RPS is going to be the same points, so that's kind of nice.
But isn't that what people were usually running on the bark anyway?
That's what I ran when I ran it a little bit, yeah. Laser wasn't bad. It was cheap, but now it's less cheap, so maybe rocket launchers is where it's at.
Hey, well, Keegan's list actually benefited.
Cheaper.
He's got a lot of inside knowledge, it seems, because, man, I'm seeing a lot of, Anakin's cheaper, Barks are cheaper. Anything about Padme in here?
And the clone ATRT is down 5, and the flamethrower is down 5. So get them toasty ATRTs out there.
I don't think I've ever seen a clone ATRT out there.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good fire support platform, but it, again, suffered from it's not a clone trooper.
Yeah. And I feel like it's going to be replaced by the ISP, because I feel like the ISP just does what that RT does, but better.
Actually, yeah, I haven't looked at the ISP too hard. I have to take a look at that. And, yes, the LAT.
The infantry support platform for those that...
Oh, right, yeah. The LAT down 15, and it needed it.
That's awesome. I'm glad to see that, because you weren't seeing a whole lot of those other than like Vader transport pieces, which now that burst of speed's out, is that really even needed?
Right. So it was hotter in Empire than it was in Republic, but this is going to help on both sides of that. Yeah. Because honestly, the LAT, when it landed kind of with a meh.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, because I think this is one of the more recent releases with the A5 and the LAAT, and it's already got an adjustment in there. But we're going to see some adjustments to the A5 as well. Okay, that's it for Republic. We got Separatists.
Wait, hot take.
Oh,
Republic.
Yeah.
Where was it too much of a swing the other direction?
Oh, with the adjustments going, I mean, this is just shooting from the hip.
That's what we are.
Yeah, I mean that's what we do. Maybe a little bit too much. Not as bad as like Empire got it back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, this is specifically targeted to clones and clone trooper.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think with when the Kashyyyk wave does hit, there'll still be plenty of options.
Yeah.
For Republic.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why some of this happened. I think they were worried about mono build Republic lists, and they were worried about people not wanting to take anything else. And with the Kashyyyk wave coming out, there wasn't a lot of incentive for competitive players to buy, some of these new things that are coming out. So I think they're good changes. I don't think they're too hurt by it.
If you are used to running your clones in one particular way previous to this, you're going to have some heartache, I think. If you were ready to incorporate some of the new stuff that's coming out or rethink how your list is run, probably be okay. Yeah.
Well, the short list, and actually the least amount of changes.
Yeah, I feel like Separatists are in a pretty good place.
Yeah, they were in a good place. And honestly, here's my hot take. With Republic getting knocked down a few pegs, I think Separatist is going to be the new hot, slightly overpowered faction. But we'll see. Grievous down 15, and his pistol down 4.
Well, that's nice.
I think those are good changes.
Yeah.
I think he was the least seen taken of the.
Yeah.
You weren't seeing a lot of Dooku either, but
Yeah, not as much once we got options, but
it's a good change. Yeah.
Speaking of Dooku, he's down 5.
Good.
Alongside Cad Bane, which no one took. So.
I still think he's meh. And that's not just because I don't like the character. I still think just he's not a great.
just
I
doesn't-
mean,
yeah.
he's just overshadowed by Maul. Maul's just
exactly.
amazing, which I'm surprised Maul kind of dodged a bullet here because he is not changed. The naked B1s are up 2. But the heavies, the E5C, the E5S, the rocket guy, are all down 2. So I think they're trying to disincentivize a bunch of naked B1s.
Because that's what a lot of people were doing.
Yeah.
You just use them as an
Yeah.
activation pad, so you can run Maul and an AAT, or Maul and a bunch of B2s, whatever. The B1s were just activation. So
the rad
Good
cannon
change.
down 6 though has got
Yeah.
me excited. I liked the rad cannon the few
Yeah?
times I ran it. Yeah, it's range 2, but guaranteed wounds is pretty nice.
Don't you have to do a wound first, I think, to put the...
Yeah, you
in
got to
there,
put the
but
token on there, and then stuff happens.
But the extra B1 man, the security droid, and the OOM droid are all down 1. And did anyone actually fill that slot with anything other than the extra personnel?
no,
No?
Yeah,
I
I don't
didn't.
think so.
And then the Viper droid down 2.
What does the
Alright.
Viper droid do again? I don't remember.
Spotter,
Not
from all,
spotter.
or
Observe,
whatever it is.
observation tokens.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Oh, they're the ones that go with Maul.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No. Well, no. The Viper, the specialist personnel. They
Okay.
come in the specialist pack.
Oh,
you can slap onto there.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, no. Maul had no changes.
Okay.
okay.
And his droids had no
or
changes.
his
but-
droids,
Yeah.
or his backup dancers. Okay, Droideca's down 5. I like that. I like Droidecas.
Yeah, they've dropped a lot since they were first launched.
I like them too. I think with the dwarf spider droids, they're basically taking over whatever
Yeah, that's a good
droids are going
point.
to do.
Yeah,
Yeah, because droidecas are very anti-personnel with their suppressive weapon.
yeah.
Versus we're kind of looking like we're going to see an armor meta coming up. So
Coming up, we're in it, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the dwarf spider droid with that ion cannon is one of the best anti-vehicle weapons out there. So
Getting out there to bwamp.
yeah,
the B2HA is up 2.
yeah. I mean that makes
makes
sense. That was
yeah.
usually how you saw the builds for the B2s. So.
Yep. Staps are up 2, and the AA5 up 5. So
I don't know that any of those are a big enough swing to make a difference.
they were
A5 is
the-
still very good.
yeah, I mean they were all the default choice for that slot. Like no one took Decas, they only took
Did
Staps.
Steps ever actually come out of the Invader League as a meta thing for
Oh, yeah.
Separatists?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah?
They
Yeah,
were.
alright.
I think it was like 2 seasons ago. I think like 4 of the top 8 were like 14 activation stapless.
Outside of Invader League?
I mean, well, we didn't have any events to
Yeah,
go
that's
by
what I'm
for a
saying.
while.
Is it feels like this is kind of based on data from that. I don't know that it ever like ruled the meta or anything in any kind of real space capacity. Then again, I just may not know
I mean,
about
it's a tough
so-
call because for about a year, the Invader League was the meta. Like
Right.
there was
Yeah,
no
yeah,
local
yeah.
events to go on, or there was no open events to go on. So I mean, there was one season where I think it was pretty much all rec stars and 14 act stapless.
Yeah.
Which I'm glad that's over.
So yeah.
But yeah, 2 points isn't that
yeah.
big a deal.
Yeah,
AAT 5 points.
Yeah,
right.
you're already running on a 170 point unit, so 5 extra points, not a huge deal. Like Dan said earlier, I think Separatists probably emerge as one of the strongest
I
factions.
just like
after
that
this.
Grievous is cheaper than the T Series droid now.
Me too. No, but I think that with the Magna Guard coming out with the dwarf spider droids, I think there's going to be a lot of competitive units in Separatists, and you're not going to just see Maul B2s dominating, because I think that was one of the second place guy at SoCal ran a
That sounds
Maul
super
B2 list.
solid. Yeah.
And the super tax coming out with override. Too.
Oh, and
It's gonna be
the
hot.
super
Yeah.
tax are going to be I'm looking forward to seeing some of the Kraken lists that come out.
So, yeah.
But overall, I think, Separatist changes sound pretty good overall.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rebels.
Rebels. Who plays Rebels?
Those dirty rebel terrorists.
Freedom fighters.
Yeah. R2 back. We just talked about him earlier. 10 points up again.
Yeah, and
So you were
the
saying-
Rebel R2 needed a 10-point adjustment because he was almost an auto take.
Yeah. I mean, But there's a lot of competition for the operative slot in Rebels because you have a lot of
Very
options.
Yeah.
So hopefully that gives you more choices in operative. It's not an auto, and then plus one other one. Let's go to what got hit the most.
Your favorite unit, right, Dan? The AA5.
Yeah. Tactician plus 6 points, and aims are only on activation, not at the beginning of the round.
Both good changes.
Yeah. I
When you and I first played that game
Yeah.
where I ran double AA5
pretty
and
bonkers.
I was just throwing aim tokens out left and right with that tactician, it just felt bad. He's too cheap,
Yeah.
and it felt like a mechanic that either it was too easy to give out aims or the fact you're doing it at the beginning of the turn before it even activated. So these are both good changes.
Yeah, so, considering they tried so hard to shut down turn 0-esque tokens that this thing was just handing them out. It's like, Reckless Driver up 6. Did that need that, though?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
You think?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Because I think unless you were running Shriv for the field commander slot, I think Reckless Driver was the go-to pick for your pilot.
Okay.
It's a free action, and you also have the ability to cause wounds by rolling a dice and running people over.
I just didn't hear of too many actual competitive lists taking him as mostly
Lupo ran it.
Lupo did?
Yeah,
Oh,
Lupo.
okay.
Lupo ran him. I think most of the people I saw who had AA5s either had Shriv for the field commander, or they had the reckless driver. I mean, you're getting extra, action active or action economy by getting basically 2 free moves.
With the plus 6, what's he up to now?
12, I think.
12?
6 point,
Ooh, okay.
which is good. I mean, it makes him more expensive than Shriv.
Okay.
So I think it's a fair change.
Quad Laser Blazer down 8 points.
Needed it. Because you had the 16 points.
Yeah, they were very expensive for the weapons platforms.
Yeah. I think it was a 36 point gun to begin with, and then the other one was 16 points. So it was like, all right, well, you kind of want to have something on there because a lot of times once you delivered your payload, you're like, well, just going to sit here now. So I thought it was, you want to have a weapon, but that one was underused. So I think it's impact 2 6 black dice.
Yeah.
So
It's
It's hefty. It's still
hefty,
fairly expensive, but nice. 8 points reduction's nice. My favorite Pokemon,
our Lord and Savior.
Gontroid,
Our Lord and Savior Gonk.
yes, is up 4 points.
yeah, and I think that's
Travesty.
a good change to it.
Outrage.
Because he was usable both on the AA5 and the Land Speeder.
Exactly, yeah.
So he saw a lot of play on both.
I think, honestly, these were very measured changes that make the AA5... It doesn't take the AA5 out of competitive, but it makes it less of an auto take.
Some of those upgrades that were finding use in other places, kind of accounts for them a little bit better, maybe.
Yeah.
Speaking of other places, the X-34.
Yeah. The 2 white dice gunner
Yeah.
dropped 8 points, so from 9 points down to 1.
Okay.
I
That's,
mean, good. Like,
yes, that's exactly what 2 white dice should be. If I've got nothing better, I will spend a point.
Oh, believe me, you got plenty better.
Yeah. Yeah. If I didn't, though. All right. Well, Mibuki.
so happy about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're going from the nerfs into the buffs. Han was steady. We talked about this previously. That scares me as someone who loves to run, high save, low health units.
This is probably my favorite change of the entire RRG.
Yeah.
Han needed some love. I mean, he's been, and this, there's not a lot of power creep in this game, but I think a lot of the character of Rebels was running heroes, running the iconic characters
absolutely.
in the movies.
I mean, yeah.
You need
And-
Captain Solo out there.
Exactly. And I'm sorry, but if the only hero you're seeing in any competitive Rebel list is Cassian, something's got to change, right? Nobody loves Star Wars because of Cassian Andor.
Operative Luke.
Give it a few
for
more
the commanders.
years.
I mean, for the
Okay,
commanders.
commanders.
Sorry, this just in. General Solo. Actually, I've been corrected.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, the steady edition is great. The buff to low profile.
Yeah,
Do you want to talk about that real quick?
We haven't talked about that yet. So yeah, low profile.
Low profile. Does anybody else benefit from low profile naturally?
Well, a few other people, which we'll get to.
Yeah.
But low profile, instead of improving your cover if you have cover, now it's if you have cover, automatically take off 1 die.
Just take that one away.
Yeah, just take that one away.
So the big question I had immediately was all right, so if you're in heavy cover, does this allow you to cancel 3 hits?
Yes.
So cool.
So,
Extra heavy cover.
Yeah, so-
Double heavy cover.
light cover, you're blocking 1 for cover and 1 for this ability. Heavy cover, you're blocking 2 for cover and 1 for this ability. But of course, if there is something that reduces cover, like blast or sharpshooter, if it completely removes the cover, you don't get the effect at all.
Yeah.
Daniel,
So
if I have low profile and somebody rolls a crit, does that remove the die?
I'm gonna have to double check that, but I
Oh,
believe
okay.
it does.
I thought you would have an answer. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot there.
yeah.
I was,
Nope,
I was
will have
just
to pull
like,
the
hey,
PDF.
let's talk
Actually,
through
yes.
it.
What-
Okay. I don't
'cause
know.
I'll have to double check that. But
Okay. We'll find out. But yeah, I welcome this. I'm very excited because it's a nice way to get more survivable characters that don't make sense to have, like red armor saves. So, and plucky rebels dodging from cover to cover, leaping from tree to tree, all nimbly pimbly.
With the change to duck and cover, we'll talk about that later, but it makes that more alluring. And then with Han specifically, since we're talking about him,
Yeah, Han
Uncanny
can jump
Luck.
into a refrigerator, and he's got ultra heavy cover. And survives.
we don't talk about that Indiana Jones movie.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about. It's a completely rebel maneuver.
And ND5 is looking crazy too. But anyways, where that's off topic.
No, but with him having uncanny luck as well, I mean, this makes him a very durable character.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. I kind of want to... I mean, I love my Hoth list right now, but if I could find a way to retool to get Han in there, I'll be very happy. Dan, you got something?
Yes, I double-checked the RRG for low profile. It cancels 1 additional hit result.
Hit result.
Yes, so it cannot cancel crits.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate that.
But to go along with that, we saw a couple other heroes from the Rebellion get some points reductions. Leia and Jyn both down 10 points.
Yay!
And I thought that those are both good changes.
Yes.
You're seeing a lot more naked rebel officer as opposed to Leia.
Yep.
So having her drop 10 points is great. And then
Jyn down to 90, which is really...
I mean, she started at 130, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with her down to 90, I think that's really good. She's a unit that, like, for people who play her often, Jeff can use her to great effect. She's always been a good piece.
What, did they add Jyn to MCP, or... hey, Jeff.
She's always been a good piece when used correctly. She's just a very difficult tool to maneuver, and I think that a 10-point drop makes her a little bit more tantalizing to some of the more casual players.
Yeah, I'm really going to have to rethink my commander slots here because, well, I mean, there's more stuff coming up too that will affect that. But yeah, I'm excited for both those changes. I want to have reasons to go to my Rebel Hero list to pull them out.
That Han, Leia, Chewie list, I started running, it's looking more and more tempting.
The halcyon days of yore.
Yeah.
Okay, but we're also getting some love that I don't think matters at all. Rebel Troopers.
Oh, you jumped over Leia.
No,
we
we're
talked
talking
about
about Jyn Leia.
Jyn and Leia.
Leia.
Both,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Ion got 1 point cheaper.
Cool. I mean, Ions are decent now with the
Are they free?
No.
Okay, so range 2, tap still. We didn't get the cycle. I know that was one of
that's
the things
the big
people
thing.
were hoping for a lot of the tap weapons, that they would get just kind of like, okay, across the board, everybody's got cycle now.
Yeah.
And that did not happen. So
so down to 17 points, which
17, okay, I guess.
Shotgun -2, Captain -2, Specialist -4. Some underused upgrades.
Yeah.
I mean, the captains were used in some, weren't they?
In some
Or was
lists,
that-
yeah.
I'm actually
Was that more of a
kind of
Stormtrooper captain
tempted
thing?
because I did notice that, I mean, the veterans are super solid, because they got the courage. Having a captain with my 2 Rebel Trooper units might be kind of nice.
I mean, most people are running Rebel Troopers either naked or just with their DC or what do you call it?
The DLT.
DLT.
Yeah.
Thank you. So I mean, they're good changes. I just don't know that we're going to see more of them.
I just love how the HH-12 was kind of the meme for bad heavy weapon. No one ever talked about the Rebel Trooper Ion.
It didn't even get onto the
like meme level
the discussion. Yeah, it was just like so utterly ignored. Okay, but that's a little bit cheaper. Shotgun, all that stuff. Rebel Commandos, low profile buff.
Yeah,
full units 2 points cheaper, and Saboteurs 3 points.
This is a really interesting change because the Rebel Special Forces slot is already very competitive as it is, and I think the Commandos were probably the least used of those, and this puts them into contention with
once there was
Wookiees
options for it, I would totally agree. Although, man, there was some of those early Saboteur or like bomb lists.
Yeah.
They were brutal to deal with.
Yeah, and if you run a full unit now with Sabs, that's minus 5 points plus the low profile changes.
Black Dice surging at range 3. I mean, just as another filler unit if you're not using the Special Forces slot. I mean, that's actually it's pretty competitive.
That could be interesting. Yeah,
with having low profile on top of that and the Scout. So,
okay, moving on. Pathfinders -2 and POW. That Kung Pao -2 points. So
I mean, everyone was on the Church of Biston. So
I'm still in the Church of Biston until the meta changes where we won't see as much armor. I think Biston is one of the best ones for that. The Pathfinder's going down 2 points in general. I think that's cool. They were like on the cusp of being competitive before. I think this just nudges them a little bit closer.
Okay, ATRT Flamethrower down 5 points, same as the Republic, so that's nice. The 1.4 FD Laser Cannon dropped another 5 points.
They don't move.
They're static. That's the trouble, is you really got to plan around those, but they're getting so cheap and they're so killy. And they're just very to dig out.
Yeah, they're very board dependent.
Yeah, I think that's
you
what
can
it
get
comes
an amazing
down to.
like area denial, or it can just sit in the corner and do nothing.
It would be really curious to see if and when theme forces become a thing, like the Hoth stuff, if there's something that like makes them a little bit more like, you get a little perk bonus for everybody that's under that theme force. So they're always one of those ones that I think about and then never pick up.
I've got one, and my last LVO list I had one in there, and they're good, but there's there are times where depending on the deployment, they'll do a lot, and there's sometimes where it's like they just sit there and they don't do anything. So 5 points off makes it a little bit more incentivizing, but it doesn't change what makes the unit undertaken.
Great, shut up. Wow, because we're going to talk about Wedge now. All right, so this is the one I've been waiting for. I'm just kidding, of course. Never shut up, Jeff. I was just trying to make some emphasis here. But Field Commander Wedge getting 4 points, adding 4 points back up to his printed 5-point value. I'm guessing he keeps the Whoopty 360 pivot ability.
He keeps the free action pivot.
Yeah, and
not the 360 pivot from his original printing, but from the last update.
Thank you, Dan.
He gets that.
Because I didn't know that. I run T-47s, but still nobody picked him up. Now he's a field commander. And I'm really very, very, very tempted to pick him up and give him a try.
But you can still run Shriv in a T-47, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, that's a good point.
I don't know that he's
maybe
better
that
than
isn't
Shriv.
as big a deal as I was thinking it was. Other than I like Wedge. So.
Yeah.
I mean, he's half the points at Shriv.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you're really,
Did you know he was there for the destruction of both Death Stars?
I love Wedge. Don't get me wrong. Like in the canon, Wedge is great. I love Wedge. So,
I actually didn't even know Shriv could go in a T-47 until at LVO or
SoCal.
SoCal, excuse me. And then somebody pointed out. I was like, oh, wow, all right.
It's cool. I'm sure it'll get used just because you have people who run T-47s and don't want to have to spend the points on a rebel officer.
Hello. Yeah. Yes. I'm actually tempted to go and instead like put the officer in my T-47s, because that's part of the problem I have is they get out on the board and HQ uplink's only useful for that one round usually, unless you're really being frugal with it. And then they're just kind of like luck of the draw. Here you go. But if you keep in formation with your commander out there, I'm thinking about not taking Gideon, the naked rebel officer, and then putting captains in my extra rebels squads for just increased leadership there, and call that one good. Yeah. Keep my courage 2 for most of my troops for grabbing objectives, and then let the T-47s do their thing. And I'm still thinking about dropping those ATRTs for some Tauntauns. I noticed Tauntauns aren't on the list again.
No, a couple were at the event though. A couple ran them.
Yeah, they're out there. They're still doing their thing. So, but that wraps it up for Rebels. I think overall some very, very good positive moves there. Did they need the buff right now? Well, I think some of their units needed the buff, but Rebels are getting a lot of attention and love right now. So
yeah, because Rebels were not to the degree that Republic had, but they had a lot of this slot. This is the best choice. You're taking this.
Well, and I think this isn't a buff necessarily, and it's not a nerf. What it does is it just readjusts some of the internal balance.
I think that's a great way to look at it. Yeah,
good changes. Again, spoiler alert, over the whole thing, I think there were good changes. I think this one does some internal balance shifting, and it makes you question, do I want to bring Jyn and Leia? Do I want to bring Han? Do I probably won't bring two.
The answer is yes
now.
to all of them.
Yeah. So yeah, as a person who plays a lot of Rebels, I like these changes. They're good.
Nice. Dan.
All right, so Empire.
Do
Don't
you
need
like
to talk about
Nope. Okay. There's nothing to Empire. They got more
Yeah.
expensive, and
I'd love to if we could edit in a drop for the Star Wars Connect. It's great in the Empire today, but I don't want to risk any copyright strikes for when this thing gets spread out on all the things.
probably. Yeah.
So all of you go Google the YouTube for
Are
Star
we
Wars
hanging
Connect
up
Empire.
the closed sign on the salt mines of the Empire? Are you having your own Ewok-style Empire Day parade down Theed Boulevard?
Yes. Exactly. Oh man. So yeah, there are a lot of great things.
And we'll talk about it on the next episode.
We'll see you next. So, of course, what we already heard was Vader Commander getting the command slot and compel core.
Yeah.
I mean,
Tomato.
Well, we didn't hear though he's going up 15 points, which is fair because I originally threw a hot take out there that he would go back up to his original 200 points. So this puts him at 190.
Okay,
Which is
good.
which is
With
fair.
some nice boosts in there.
So yeah, some really nice boosts.
Yeah.
But Operative Vader, who no one saw this coming.
Yeah.
Even with those boosts to Commander Vader, I still think Operative Vader is going to overshadow.
Yeah, and he has for a while.
Yeah. So Operative Vader gains 1 wound, so he's up to 7 now. Speed 2, loses the spur, gains a training slot.
Which is just basically just gonna be tenacity, right?
Yeah, tenacity. Okay. Yeah, because
So you're
plus
back
20
up,
points.
So you're back up to the normal number of attack dice you would get with Lord Vader anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So so my current playtesting with him is choke, push, into the fray, tenacity for 193 points.
Wow.
That's speed 2 Vader. Oh, it's
no
fast step and speed.
burst of speed or anything in there?
With speed 2, I've still
think
through
it's
some testing.
necessary?
Not sure if it's necessary. It is necessary in Commander Vader, which
oh
absolutely
yeah,
is that.
yeah.
But I don't know if it's 100% necessary on Operative
I don't
Vader.
know.
But
I always like to go faster.
testing will reveal that.
Okay,
So.
I can't wait to hear back on that.
But he also got 2 command card buffs, which we heard of one of them. Darkness Ascends. If it's not divulged, you get a permanent reliable 2.
Ooh, that's tasty.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
And Implacable, every time Vader activates, he gains a dodge. And he does that, of course, twice on the Implacable turn.
That's really good.
So he's got a baked-in force reflexes now?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, as somebody who really enjoys playing Luke because he's got like 3 cards that give him a dodge for free.
Yeah.
Having that is huge.
Yeah, so Vader, of course, did have a few other cards that give him dodges, Fear and Dead Men and Master of Evil. So this now actually makes it even, the number of cards that Luke has, the number of cards that Vader has to give him dodges. And, of course, to go with that, Palpatine, minus 10. So didn't you have a fleeting dream, Matt, back in the day of running a Palp Vader list?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I did. I played probably a half dozen games with him.
And it was, what, like 7 activations?
Yeah, something like that. That might be generous.
So, hey, we can see if we can squeeze that in again, because Anger's minus 2 as well.
Ooh.
And Anger was pretty much
It was
staple.
that 2 points that kept me down in the activations.
And to go alongside him, of course, the Royal Guard and minus 6, and the Electro Staff minus 4. So
that was the list. Okay.
Oh,
And that's really good because
yeah, minus 10 overall.
when you see the Magna Guard coming out and the Magna Guard with the same price and did better.
Better.
than-
Yeah.
This is needed.
Yeah. Krennic minus 15. Totally needed that.
Needed it. Yep.
Yeah. And Death Troopers to go alongside him. I'm sorry, I think I mistyped this here because the Death Troopers actually, their gun is free, which is awesome, but I believe they went up in points.
Oh, they went up at the upgrade went down.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But they went
which is
down
fair.
a net 4 points.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, the Death Troopers did go down 4 points.
Oh, they
sorry,
did?
I did write that right.
Wow. Okay,
I
so
thought they went up.
with
And the config went down to free.
Which you were always running it with the config anyway. So
Yeah.
essentially, this is a 12-point reduction
Yeah.
on a Death Trooper squad,
Ooh.
which
Yes.
is good.
So
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
scary because I really hated running against them.
Yeah. I mean, it brings them down to be competitive with the Imperial Special Forces.
Yeah.
They're still a little more expensive with the DLT, but with the DTF-16, if you need a compel bot in there,
Yeah.
it makes that interesting. Let's see. Veer's -5, Boba Fett -5. I mean,
I don't know that's enough to make Boba competitive again.
he's 120 now. Bosk is 115.
Yeah.
They're. I mean, if you're running double bounty, it brings them a lot closer to each other.
Fair. I think they needed a little bit more to make them competitive.
Hopefully his revamp in Shadow Collective will help with that.
I'm
then.
guessing
Yeah.
that's what's going on
Right.
here. So
Let's see.
Gideon and Dell.
Yeah, Gideon and Dell both down. Gideon down 9, Dell down 13.
have you
Dell.
been playing either of those guys?
Not yet. But
Wait, yeah, you did, didn't you?
You used to play. Yeah.
I tried Inferno Squad at the very beginning, but the generic Imperial Special Forces just outperformed them for the cause.
Okay.
Because they were more expensive than Imperial Special Forces. They were up in Death Trooper range.
But weren't you running them as upgrades?
Oh, as
in
upgrades, yeah. Sorry, I was referring to Inferno Squad as a whole.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But now Inferno Squad is crazy cheap. I was actually, where's my list? I was building before we were recording here. Because there's just so many options to list build right now. It's stupid.
It's fantastic, is what you mean.
Fantastical.
Yeah.
I will pull that up later because my phone is being stupid. Okay. Speaking of the ISFs, the heavy, the T-21 dropped 2,
Okay.
which brings ISF plus the heavy plus the offensive push, which is staple to them, 99 points. So it's
Wow.
a solid drop in there.
Yeah, that's a
Okay.
good drop.
Yep. The Shore Trooper T-21 back down to its original printed cost, -3 points,
Okay, that seems
which
fair.
was a little late, I think. But
yeah. 100% agree.
yeah. Scout Troopers.
Oh boy.
Oh, these are getting spicy. So not only the low profile stuff we talked about earlier, but they go from Scout 1 to Scout 3.
Scout 3.
That's massive, especially for a unit that throws out 2 black dice in for range 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you throw them, Scout 3 out there right away, and they can basically pop out and get some shots on something
Yeah.
right up first. Oh,
yeah.
So
That'll ruin somebody's day.
we'll talk about it later, but Duck and Cover got cheaper. So Duck and Cover, Smoke Grenades, and these guys, 53 points for a naked squad.
God.
I mean, no heavy.
Yeah.
And like R2, this is something you have to address because if it flanks you,
Yeah.
it's going to hurt. So unfortunately, the Imperial Special Forces slot is very competitive too. So it'll be harder to fit these guys in. But as a kind of a cheap, hey, deal with me or I'm going to blast you, it makes them interesting now.
I'm excited to see a unit of these guys on the table. I love Scout Troopers. I mean, Scout 3, if anybody's going to have them, it's going to be the ones with Scout right in their name. I know.
Yeah, right.
All the Stormtrooper heavies are down too.
Needed
Which is great. The HH-12, we talked about memes earlier, -4. I still don't think that's enough, considering the
Not without
like I said,
Cycle.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
just-
not without
yeah.
cycle, or not without taking away the tap, or without taking away the cumbersome.
Yeah.
Like that combination of things still ties it down.
Too restrictive.
Yeah. Stormtrooper Captain -2, Stormtrooper Specialist -3. So what makes this interesting is these are 1 and 2 points above the naked Stormtrooper. So I don't think the basic Stormtrooper, which was never taken anyway.
Yeah.
8 points for the Stormtrooper, 9 points for the Specialist, 10 for the Captain.
Yeah.
Why even take the basic guy?
Yeah, and I think that's cool. Yeah, I'd rather have something fancy than just another, here's another white die.
Yeah. Dewbacks -5. I'm not sure they needed it. They were already doing pretty hot.
Yeah.
So I'm actually surprised they were dropping those guys. But the Speeder Bikes -5, like the Decas, came out, 90 points, and now they're down to 60.
I know Tumnus is having a field day on those.
Oh yeah. So
Mr.
I'm
Triple Legs.
I'm even looking. I'm like, can I throw this in a list here and see?
I don't want to go back to that. That was a dark meta when it was triple bikes. I did not enjoy that.
Yeah, get over it.
Because the meta now is triple barks.
Yeah,
But anyway.
triple barks, man. I love my bikes.
Occupier tank down 5. I mean,
All right.
it's good. We'll accept it. I don't think
it seems to be the less taken stepchild with when you've got an ATST option in there. I think people still want to go there.
Well, I'm skipping ahead actually on my list here, but the ATST.
Speaking of, yeah.
ATST -5, but that's not where the spiciest is.
Give me the spicy.
Yeah. All the weapons. The twin laser cannon -10, grenade -7, mortar -5.
I mean,
So
you
just
wouldn't
like-
take all those together, would you?
Well, Weiss, my boy Weiss,
Oh, boy.
not only gains field commander just like Wedge, but also loses his tap
Which
ability.
is huge.
So, permanent Arsenal 4, all the DACA.
Dan, you're the Empire guy,
Yeah.
and that's the only reason I'm not running back to my shelves to grab both my ATSTs.
Go for it.
off.
The Empire
Really? Okay,
welcomes
cool. All right,
everyone.
thanks. No.
To everyone who has been
deterred.
deterred from the Empire for the last year, we welcome you back.
This is a recruiting drive.
Yes.
I see.
Everyone who stayed with the Empire, we acknowledge your loyalty.
Service
So,
guarantees
service
citizenship.
citizenship.
Yes. As long as you're human.
So yeah, and of course Weiss goes back up to 5 points.
I
just
was
like
never
Wedge,
a
so.
Weiss player back when I was doing the double heavy.
Like,
Oh,
well, this was like year 1,
Yeah.
like wave 1. I loved my Weiss.
I
It was my fun.
I
just
like the
whack.
concussion grenades, and I ran it expensive, and I still loved it. And but yes, I would definitely go just load it down with everything.
Oh yeah. So no, I of course have built a loaded Weiss. All the weapons, Weiss and link targeting array, 183 points.
Well, I mean, if you look at it, you're 23 points cheaper now.
Yeah.
So
Dan's always said he likes his ATSTs like his potato skins. Loaded.
okay, it's like from Idaho. Like,
Twice baked.
Yeah, twice. Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh god. Other
And then
things
of course
are-
you talked about the LAAT.
yeah,
being
Lat went down 15, which is, I mean,
Nice.
better for Empire because Baron Reuter also went down 4. So, like I said, the LAAT, it's been said a million times, it's trying to be both a gunship and a transport, and it was too expensive for either. So this kind of gives you, maybe you could do it as a gunship. And Price down 5, which was good because no one ran her anyway.
I think the brief flirtation with the Vader copter is kind of it's come and gone already. So maybe.
Yeah. On to non-factioned things. We mentioned a couple of these already, but E-Stims has been kind of bouncing all around in price, back down to its original printed 8.
That's good. I think it probably needed that. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, the biggest thing I'd see them on is like something like Chewbacca, where you are going to be guarding stuff.
Okay, so delaying a turn.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Up
where
and-
I would use them on.
Yeah.
I mean, because
Or Luke.
yeah, I mean the original uses were Jedi operative Luke doesn't have a
No,
gear
but,
slot, right?
but if you're running Commander
Commander.
Luke, which I mean nobody
Which-
does because operative Luke is a thing, but
Thinking back on that, why didn't they do anything with Commander Luke?
Commander Luke could have used some love. I can see that just because there was such a disparity now between Commander Luke and operative Luke.
Yeah. Don't know.
Huh. But yeah, duck and cover down to -2 points, down to 2 points.
Love that.
Yeah, so
That's good.
everyone who's got low profile, I think this is almost maybe not an auto take, but
I was
almost.
stapling it when I was running Han. I was
Han,
putting them
exactly.
on Han. I
Yeah.
put them
Yeah.
on Pathfinders just
Yeah.
because it's giving you extra danger
Yeah,
sense.
so, all the danger sense people are going to love that.
Yep.
Anger -2, like we mentioned earlier, really only ever used on Palp, though. I have seen a couple random Maul builds with Anger, just when he takes that wound to get that third action. And smoke grenades.
I like it. That's I mean they're fun. It's now we only use it one time, but getting that extra cover
And free action, and again, the low profile people
Yeah.
are going to love this. And
Yeah.
I mean, so smoke them if you got them.
Yeah. Oh, hey. Yeah, I like it. So overall, I think we're both thumbs up. Everybody's thumbs up on most of the changes here.
yeah, I like it.
Yeah, hopefully it'll pan out well. I mean, not to bring it down a little bit, but the last RRG update, everyone's like, "Great, Empire got all the reductions," and it went nowhere. But we're much more hopeful on this time around.
It'll be interesting to see what actually comes out because we've got 41 days to plan for the new Open and see what everybody brings there, and then.
So New Orleans, I think, is going to be the first major, to my knowledge, first major event that's going to be using these changes. And we'll see what kind of spiciness comes out of that, because I think whatever comes out of that will reflect heavily on LVO.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, to the list builders.
Yes.
One of my favorite memes through all this was been the baby Yoda like ducking.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
with
For all the things-
T-47s and Wookiees, basically like somehow avoided any kind of drastic points change.
Maul on top of that.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah, there's a few things that are meta, but I think with reductions to other things, you'll see some competition for it.
Yeah. Ooh, actually.
So what are you guys all building out there? Definitely reach out to us in the comments. See what sort of craziness you guys can come up with.
Oh, I thought you were talking to me and John.
No, I was talking to our wonderful listener, which we established last
we've got
episode.
listeners.
We've only got one
Yes.
listener, but yes.
No, we got a
Appreciate
chance
you guys.
to hang out with a couple people when we were at SoCal afterwards, and some of our some old listeners.
It was
seeing
nice.
Rock again was great.
Yeah.
Ed, like,
JJ,
crazy dude.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. It was really good. It's nice to see people, filtering back out into the community and getting to these events. But yeah, it was really, really fun, and looking forward to LVO. I wish I had all the money in the world so I can go to New Orleans, but maybe next year. Maybe that would be a fun one to do. But anyways, guys, we're already at supersize episode here, but thank you, of course, to all our Patreon members out there making it possible for us to deliver these episodes to you in a somewhat timely manner. John, where can people find you out there?
I am on Instagram at Outrider_John. And I think I'm on Discord as Wookiee of the Year, but I've never really on Discord.
Two Jawas in a trench coat?
No, you've literally got what, like 3-4 posts on Discord total?
Probably.
Dan, how about you?
I am either Outrider Dan or Dan Tech on the Discord, and I, of course, love hanging out on your streams.
Thank you. And you can find me on Twitch at Captain_Archer or at GRN_Archer on the Twitterverse. Thank you, guys. We'll check back, maybe play some games, check out these points, and report back next time. And maybe, hey, Keegan, can you come on the show next time?
Yeah, Keegan, if this is the first time you're hearing it, Keegan, we should reach out to you before this. But this is the first time you're hearing it. Shoot us a message.
All right. We'll see you next time, Outriders.
This concludes the current episode of the Legion Outriders podcast. You may cultivate a tactical advantage by observing the Outriders on Facebook or Twitter at Legion Outriders. Wisdom advocates subscribing to the podcast. Acting otherwise is reckless.